Okay, this is Professor Smaldone, and we're going to talk about these chords right now. These are all predominants. The 2-6, the 2-6-5, the 2 diminished 6, the 2 half diminished 6-5, the flat 2-6, the flat 2 in root position, and the 2-4-2. I'm going to go through each one fairly quickly, but this is, stop the video whenever you need to take some notes or write something down. We are going to work on these in class, how to notate everything, but I want you to get the sounds first. So I'm going to work in the key of F major. The 2-6 chord is going to be a chord built on G, which is the 2 chord of F major, but it's going to be in first inversion, so we're going to put the B flat in the bass. So that's the simplest progression. Even you can go up or down. You can go in that direction. Once you get to the 2-6 chord, however, when you go to the 5, you should move the hands in contrary motion. Even though this is a first inversion chord, you don't want to move everything like that because you'll end up with parallel octaves. This is going up a step. Move it. The upper voice is in contrary motion. There's the 2-6. It could also go to the cadential 6-4. That's also very possible. Try that. Now, the 2-6-5, all it does is it adds one more note to the 2 chord. So the 2 chord was G, B, D, and now it's going to be G, B, D, and F. So we need the F. Now, we're going to have the 2-6-5, and you'll notice that the next chord I write is 2-6-5, not 2-7. We will focus on the 2-6-5 and also on the 2-4-2. Those are the most common and useful inversions of 2 chords that are 7th chords. So in the key of F major, the 2 chord is G minor, the 7 is F. You add the F to it. So now if I'm going from the F chord, instead of going to the 2-6, I need that F. But if I play the F instead of the G and double the B flat, now I have a B flat chord. Basically what you've got to do is make sure you leave out B flat in the upper voices because you need room for that new note, which is F. So it would go like this. Now, technically, that F is the 7th of the chord, and it's going to resolve down. 7ths, chordal 7ths, resolve down. Now it could also go to the cadential 6-4, and there you're not gonna have a problem with parallels, even though one of the voices is going up and one of them is going down. And that's because those are parallel 6. You don't have to worry about that. You could also, with the 7th, that's a little less common, I think, because technically that 7th doesn't resolve down. It goes down. It's funny voice leading. Basically, you just want that. Another key. There's 4, 5, 1, 2-6, 5-1, 2-6-5, because now I need the G. I'm not going to double the C, which is the note that's down in the bass. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that 4 different notes. In the 2-6 chord, very commonly, you will double the note that's in the bass. Happens to be the 3rd of the chord. Remember, in first inversion chords, you can double the root, the 3rd, or the 5th. This is one of those places where the doubled 3rd is a good one. That happens to be the note that's in the bass. But when you make that 2-6 chord into a 2-6-5, now you've added the 7th of the chord, and you no longer have room for a doubled note. You're going to have 4 different notes. Now, the next one is what happens in the minor mode, the 2-6. In the minor mode, if I just do, instead of G major, if I do it there's a C, an A diminished chord in first inversion. And if I took that chord and changed it into a seventh chord, instead of A, C, E flat, I'm going to have A, C, E flat, and G. Another possibility. If I started with that, if I started with the, I think I would do that. And so that's the two half diminished 6/5. When you put that, when you take that diminished triad and add the seventh, it's not fully diminished, it's half diminished. Now the only difference now, we're looking here now in the key of G minor. The flat 2, the only difference between any of these chords is that the triad it's built on is not on the second scale degree, but on the lowered second scale degree. So it's really an A flat major chord. So there's the G minor chord instead of, we get an A flat major chord. And that's going to have this voice that's going to go, that's okay. That's to be expected. You can smooth that out by using the cadential 6/4. But the Neapolitan sixth chord is just, this is how you find it. Let's say we want the key of F. There's the key of F. Key of F, that's the tonic. Where's the second scale degree? It's G. Flat that note, and that you want a major chord. That's what you want, a major chord built on that scale degree. So instead of a G minor chord, you have a G flat major chord. Now the fact is, made that a 5/7. The Neapolitan sixth is more common in the minor mode because two of the notes of the chord are actually in the flat 2. So if we look at the key, let's go back to the key of G minor. We were in G minor and we did this 2 diminished chord, right? It's a 2 diminished in first inversion. That's a regular old 2/6 that lives in the key of G minor. If all I do is take that A natural and turn it into A flat, I've turned the diminished triad into a major chord, and that's where the Neapolitan comes from. It is the diminished triad on the second scale degree. If you lower the root by a semitone, you get a major triad, because it makes the minor third a major third, and it makes the diminished fifth a perfect fifth, so it turns it into a major triad. Let's do a different key. How about the key of E major? Here we are, E major. Now, what is the Neapolitan sixth chord? I take the key of E. F sharp is the second scale degree, but I'm going to lower it to F natural and put that chord in first inversion. And you can see that if I change the regular 2/6 to the Neapolitan, I have to change 2 notes. But if I'm in the key of E minor, I've already got the C natural. I just need to change the F sharp to the F natural. Okay? So the Neapolitan chord is just like the other 2 chords, 2/6 and 2/6/5. You're not going to get a Neapolitan 6/5. That just doesn't happen. But the Neapolitan chord is a major triad built on the second scale degree of the key that has been lowered by 1 step. Now, The 2-4-2 chord is a chord that we've seen quite a few times. It's a chord that has do in common, because when we take the second scale degree, we're in E minor now, okay? The second scale degree would yield those notes. Those are the notes of an F sharp half diminished seventh chord. If we simply put the E in the bass, we get, and that's what normally will happen. There's the F sharp, A, C, and E. So the E is a common tone, and that seventh of the chord is going to resolve down to the root, to the third, the leading tone of the key. And you could do that in a major key. We can have, there's the 2-4-2, and it still resolves to the 5-6-5. That's the C major prelude progression. The Ave Maria. It's in the key of C. I just played it in the key of F. Now in the key of F minor, the 2 chord is half diminished 7. So this is a 2 half diminished 4-2 that resolves. Okay, so let's just be consistent here. If I want, I can also have the 2 half diminished 4-2. Oops. And that's the version of the chord that will be created if you take if you do the 4-2 in the minor key, because the half diminished is something that happens in minor. The half diminished, the 2-4-2 in major is a minor 7 chord, just like the 2-6-5, but it's got the 7th in the bass instead of the 3rd in the bass. Okay, practice those with some examples.